Welcome back. You're still on to the Polity, reaching you from Abuja. Now we will delve straight into the conversation, bordering on the NNPP, his moves, his aspirations, his performance in the by-elections, and what it hopes to get in perhaps months, years to come, and basically their ways of moving forward as a political party, offering opposition to the national or at the national level while being in control and in power in Kano State and also across some legislative seats. Today I've been joined in the studio now by the National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Yakubu Shendam. He joins me now to tell me more about the party and its mission. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
It's good to have you.
Thank you very much.
All right, before we delve into so many issues, let's begin at the latest. At the by-elections, the NNPC was able to record victory. So tell us, going forward, what is the idea behind trying to make a name? Because people feel as though the main opposition is still the PDP, others say it's the Labour Party, but then we have the NNPP who's in control of a state and in control of a number of legislative seats. So what is it looking like from the party's point of view in terms of gaining more power across more elections?
Well, I think I will not say that you say Labour Party is one of the opposition, is the main opposition of PDP. We are not dragging who is going to be in the opposition or who is not in the opposition. We're a national party that has come to stay in Nigeria, and we are working everything possible to make sure that we put our apps together across the country, as you saw in our last outing in Kano State. And I've always said that any person that has Kano State in Nigerian politics is equivalent to somebody who have like 5 to 6 states in Nigeria, because if you see the capacity, the political, the numerical strength in terms of voting, when it comes to voting, the numbers of vote that comes in from Kano double several states in the south in terms of their numerical strength and numbers. So it will be lacking or suggest that if you have Kano, you are good as having 5 to 6 states in the south. So I want to see NNPP from that angle, because we have one Kano, a state that every person running for president want to get. We want it landslidely. And
were you worried when it got all the way to the Supreme Court?
No, we weren't worried, because we know that the Supreme Court will do the needful, because it's a court of the last, the common man and the last hope for a common person. So we are not worried during those trials in the tribunal, in the appeal court. We know that when it gets to the final court, which is the Supreme Court, will win our case, because the election has already been decided by the people themselves. So I don't think any other person can decide otherwise. So that is why we are not worried. It was just unfortunate that the lower courts, did what they did. It's unfortunate. We hope that they will dust up their app in previous trials like this, because it was a national embarrassment for them to have taken that position, even though it's a law. But people should not take laws into their own hands. They should allow it to be played and practiced the way it is being studied. Some of us are equally studying law in the university, so we understand some of these intricacies. So having said that, we were not worried at all. We are very confident that by the time we get to the Supreme Court will do the needful. And of course, you saw the outcomes of the rulings. However, that is a bygone now. We are no more talking about court cases now. We are now looking forward to see how we can take over the country itself. We've taken Kano, and I told you Kano is 5 states, or let me say 6 states. So in our subsequent outing elections, in few time to come, maybe in the next 2-3 years, elections will come again. So we have confidence that we are going to take over, because we have 5 states already. It's a bargaining power. So whoever is coming to want to wrestle, to want to contest an election with NNPP should be prepared. And like I said in my previous discussion with other people, I said, look, this 2023 election was like a testing, it was for all like a testing something. We have seen it, and we will be more prepared next time.
All right. There's still a lot of issues to contend with, and we'll get to that. But first, I want to get your thoughts on making the NNPP a national party, so to speak.
It is already a national party.
Yeah, but your victory has largely been in Kano State.
No, that is not correct.
In the south, what is being done?
No, that is not correct. No, that is not correct. Let me correct you very well. We are not just in Kano. Yes, we want Kano. Labour too want Abia, and we're going to take over Abia from them in the next election. We're already working on that. We want to go into the southeast.
So you're already making inroads into the south?
Yes, we're already getting there. To the southeast, I want to be specific. To the southeast. The southwest, we're already there. Yes, we might not have won election. You know, winning election is different for you to have it present. Yeah. We are already in the southwest, because if you go to Lagos today, I mentioned NNPP, the whole of Oshodi, down to Mushin, okay? All those areas where those people that you people or the Nigerian elites refer to as poor people, we don't refer to them as poor people. They are asset to us. They are asset to us. Okay? So all those people who you people call poor people, we call them assets. If you move down to Obalande and all those areas, to Badagry, those are NNPP areas. But we were not ready for that election that time. So by the time we move in our subsequent election, we'll surprise them then. So we don't want to say it here on news. Let us keep that also. We're already in the southwest. We're already in the south-south. We're in Edo. We are running this Edo off-cycle election, which is
I want to hear about that.
Yes, we are running election. We have, in fact, so far I can tell you here free of charge, we have so far sold about 7 gubernatorialship candidates nomination forms in NNP. About 7 candidates have approached us, buy our forms, filled, and some of them are already returning them back.
Can we get a timeline for when you might be getting a candidate?
No.
When the primaries?
No, our primaries are just by the corner. On the 23rd of this month, February, we are conducting our primaries, governorship primaries in Edo State, in Benin. So, and most of us will be there. So we are not worried at all. We are not just a Kano thing. Yes, Kano was the first state we won, and we were very careful and strategic why we went for Kano. We would have gone to maybe get some smaller states, you know, like Nasarawa here, or maybe small state like Ebonyi. But we did not go for those states because we wanted to catch the big one. We went for Kano because when we grab Kano and strategize, we'll get into the country and take over. So that is why we took Kano first as our testing ground. And anybody that comes in from nowhere, because you will say the NNPP come from, the NNPP has been there for the past 20-something years. But that time it was just there, you know, just like any other party that was there. Not until when our national leader came on board. Of course, you know him. Should I call his name? You already know him. Yeah. Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the former governor of Kano State. You know, until he came into NNPP, because he's not just a bulldozer; he's also a caterpillar. He clears anything that stands his way. When he came in and took the party, you know, within the period of just about from the time we took the party in 2022, I think around March or so, when we did our national convention, till the time we won election was just a period of just 8 months. So within the 8 months, a party that has been lying fellow for 22 years reawoken, and we went for the big thing, which is Kano. We grabbed Kano. That was why there were so many issues. They were telling us, how comes they want to grab the Kano back? They want to grab the Kano back. But the people were with us. There's nothing you can do when the people are with you. The Kano people were with Kwankwaso, and I've always been with him. He has never lost election in Kano State since he came to politics. So somebody like that, no serious politician to joke with him. No serious politician to joke with him. Somebody like Kwankwaso. In any ramification in politics, you have to be very, very careful, because he's a bulldozer. So when we came in, we took the party, and of course, see where we are. We are not only in we are also in the North Central. We have candidates who won election in Nasarawa State, House of Assemblies. We have them there. We have in Taraba, in the Northeast. We have candidates who won elections in NNPP. in the House of Assembly. We also have in Kaduna. So we have pockets of, assembly members in some states like that. So why I'm saying so is that we're not just in Kano, we are penetrating gradually. We don't make noise gradually. Before you know it, we'll take you unaware in 2027. There's nothing they can do about it.
Fair enough. Before we go back to the performance of the NNPP in the major election, let's talk about the national leader, Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. Like you said, I don't think anyone would argue with you when you say he's not someone to joke with.
You can't joke with him.
I'll paint a picture.
Yes.
Something I read once upon a time. There were this is a fictional arrangement. There were two factions in, let's say, a national assembly. No, I'm not going into the faction yet. I'm just showing the power of the minority.
Yes.
One is just as though it was a national assembly.
Yes.
One person had, let's say the total number is 21.
Yes.
One group had 10, the other group had 10. So their work was to convince the final person to join one of them.
Yes.
And whoever he joined would emerge as the major, candidate, so to speak. And then when one of the groups realized that they couldn't convince this man to join them, they convinced him not to join anybody and that they should go into the assembly that way. So that when they're arguing about bills and so on, his votes will be the deciding vote. So he became sort of the, so to speak, the one who decides who leads. So when this vote is put forward, who do I support this time? They are both going to come to me. I support this person and so on. So the point I make now is in terms of the votes that the NNPP got. We'll get into the party's issue later. The NNPP got over 1 million votes.
That's correct.
Now, I believe I might be wrong, maybe I'm wrong with the numbers a little bit, but if you take that vote and you add it to any of the other two parties who came second or third, they could have had victory, if not very closely. So the question is, when we hear talks about from the PDP candidate and former vice president that he wants to form a collaboration and all of this with other parties, the opposition parties, what does the NNPP think about this? Is this a case where you decide to, align with one of these to make up your numbers and grab power at the national level, or do you believe that it's something where you just have to be on your own? I want to know your response to that, because we've heard from some other NNPP members as regards this, so I want to hear your own thoughts.
Well, actually, that is very okay. It's politics, in politics, there are gives and takes from time to time, and there are also opportunities for shifting grounds, and there are also opportunities for closing ranks. To us as a party, remember we're a political party, registered, and we have our structure, we have our executives, National Working Committee, NEC, we have all the states and local governments and the ward level. We have a presidential candidate in 2023 elections, who is our national leader. So we have always been very straight in our dealings, and our leader has always been very open in his negotiations and political, dealings with other political alliances and opponents and all that. We have said it very clearly in our meetings, in our press statements, when some persons call on us for alliance, which is usual, which is normal in politics. People normally close rank when the issues are on the table, to look at them very critically, to see how, we can look at our ideologies and how we want to operate. So when we had the call, of course, we are not a secret call to organization. We are not an island of ourselves. We're a political party, open to every person for registration, including yourself here. If you want to join, the party is there. You can pick. I can even issue a registration form here, so that the country will know that you have joined us. So we are open to every person, because what we are looking, our target is to drive and mobilize members to join us, so that we can move Nigeria to where Nigeria is supposed to be. Our leader believes in driving Nigeria out of poverty and allowing people to have opportunity to realize their self-potentials. This is where the Kwankwasia movement you've been hearing of, this is where it is driving Nigeria to. The leader wants to see that every single young Nigerian, be young, old, or whatever, should have opportunity to realize his self-potential, to be able to be part of the national discourse or national conversation, which Nigerian is all about. So Nigeria can move to a more better and prosperous nation, which we all envisage. So as a party, we have that as an ideology. So what we are looking at, whoever want to come or want us to work together, you must also be prepared to have such ideas or be equipped with such, capacity. So that is why we said, well, yes, we are not going to run away from, associating with people. We decided to allow our door very wide open for them to come, let us look at ourselves and see what we can do. We have said it before. We say APC, of course, they are human beings. They are not ghosts. They are welcome. PDP, they are welcome. Labour, what have you, any other party that is there, I don't know.
But some people feel like we should be bearing grudges.
No.
These people presided over a time where the country almost went down.
No, you see, people change their minds. Change is inevitable. Something that is always constant. Okay, so people change their mind from time to time. Okay, it might be they were in this group before, and there was somebody who was leading there, was not, they might, maybe infusing his own idea on them. That is why they are behaving the way they are behaving. So I don't think that is an issue. Where they are welcome, if they want to form an alliance with us. Yes, the former national vice president of the country, Atiku Abubakar, is a political factor. We cannot undermine that. He has been a vice president of Nigeria before, so of course he is welcome. We need his word of ideas and knowledge, and we need his support too to move Nigeria forward. So if he is calling for alliance for us, he is welcome. A party, Joseph, he can come. NNPP is there. NNPP is a big family. We need people like them. That's why we are welcoming everybody. Even the president himself. In fact, we equally will be very happy if he changes his mind to look our way. Either we work together or he works with us here. So we are open to everybody. We don't want to say, no, we can do it alone. Nobody can do anything alone. Nobody is an island of himself. So we are open for discussion. We are open for collaboration. We are open for discussion. We are open for ideas. As long as these ideas and all these means of being open is towards developing Nigeria. That is our cardinal goal.
All right. You're open to other parties and people from other parties. Let's talk about your own party.
Yes.
The position you currently hold was held by Mr. Ogbewe, who now, says that he has his own faction of the party where he's the acting chairman, I believe, due to some scuffles here and there. Can you give us an update about that? Is there any hope of reconciliation, or are those persons banished forever?
I don't think those are necessary questions to ask, because as you can see, we are intact. I don't want to go into those kind of discussion any longer. We've already taken care of that. The court have taken care of that. But for the purpose of the media, maybe your own studio here or your own station are not abreast with such information. I will say it here that, look, we don't have any issue. Ogbewe was a former publicity secretary of the parties. We don't need to be repeating those issues here. He has left, probably has formed another party. I don't know. We heard that he's going to form party somewhere. So maybe they are working. We wish them luck in their new party they want to form. I hope INEC will also look at their credentials clearly. But like I said, that is by the way. We are in charge here now. Our mission is to move Nigeria forward and also make NNPP become the party which it was originally, we wanted to be. We are allowing people, Nigerians, to participate, giving people opportunity to, exhibit their self-potentials, bringing out the best of the people. That is what we are doing now. And we are going around mobilizing Nigerians, we are issuing of our membership card. That's what we are doing now. In fact, last week we just issued almost 1 million copies of membership card in Edo State. In fact, they were rushing. The traffic was so much that most of our staff have to go to Edo itself to issue the cards. So I think we are bothered ourselves with more of mobilizing people, and those who might have left the party as a result of maybe one or two things. Like NNPP has always been open, so they are welcome as long as they go back to their local governments and their ward and re-engage themselves. Party is open for everybody.
All
We are
right.
not throwing anybody away.
All right.
Okay, so those are just media's exaggeration.
All right.
Yes.
If you say so. So let's move over to Kano State.
Yes.
When it concerns the NNPP, we can always meet your party, and I believe we'll even get more information than what others might be aware of. So the governor has been fully confirmed, no more cases,
No, not at all.
No contentions anywhere. I'd like to get your thoughts. I believe the other day the governor was speaking about the state of things and how terrible some affairs were, but he was on his way to fixing it. So I don't know if you can give us an update of perhaps what might be going on there, the state of things, and basically what the people of Kano can be expecting during perhaps the completion of the governor's tenure.
Yes. Well, as for Kano State, of course, the cases have come and gone. The governor has always been focused, even when they were distracting him. He has remained focused to give the dividends of democracy to the people of Kano. And Abba Yusuf is somebody, he's an engineer himself, so he has occupied himself all this while with dishing out developmental projects. Road constructions are ongoing in Kano. If you go to Kano now, you will not even recognize the city any longer. And NNPP is not a vengeance party where you come and abandon the former project of the former administration. He has accepted to continue to carry out all the other projects that are not even completed in the last administration and initiate new ones, which I just told you. Road constructions have been, all over the state. That is what he's doing. And of course, you know that he also focused more on education. He is very concerned about educating the Kano youths, particularly those ones, like I told you, that are fatherless, have nothing, no sense of means of livelihood. But some few months back, just a month or so, he lifted over 1,000 or more, students from Kano to various universities across the world, to Pakistan, India, South Africa, Egypt, several countries. We have Kano youth students who are they've been given admissions fully paid, sponsored by the state government under APA. So you can see that the man from the one has hit the ground running. He's not here to waste time or listen to gossip or listen to political parties differences. No, he's there to put Kano.
But what can we say about opposition? The former governor is in the APC.
There is no opposition in Kano.
That's the question.
There.
Why?
Because the Kano people have decided to take, in fact, let me tell my brother.
Because recently, about 2 to 3 local government chairmen from the APC, they come to NNPP.
The last election in Kano State, the 2023 election in Kano State, is significantly very different. It's a kind of election that Nigeria hasn't experienced in several, if not centuries, because the people of Kano, for the first time, came out in millions. Thank God you are the one that even mentioned the figure, not myself. So you say I'm exaggerating. You as a media man, you mentioned it here. You said that he got over 1.something million votes. And I've challenged any governor in Nigeria or any party that has ever produced that kind of number for their governor in Nigeria, even in Lagos State. Let them come and tell us where a governor has won election 1 million vote or 1.something million vote in recent election in Nigeria. It's only in Kano. That's to tell the people of Kano, like I said, it's a unique election. Wanted Abba there. They gave him the election freely. There was no kobo that was spent there. We didn't buy election like you see where elections are being sold, see and buy. See anywhere, if you go to some people sell election on the street. They give them money and collect. In polling unit, you pay 1,000, 5,000, some even pay as far as 10,000 to buy vote. But this man got his election for the people of Kano at the platter of gold because they loved him. They wanted him there. So where will you go and start doing opposition? Even the APC themselves in Kano are now joining Abba, joining the NNPP, joining the good governance. 3 local government chairmen, like you rightly said, left. More are moving. In fact, we are even convinced that the APC national chairman might soon even join us. He might, because
the national chairman.
He might join us because his tenure will so elapse, and by the time he leaves, he might want to join. Joining in the sense that joining Abba to move the state forward. There's nothing he can do. Recently, the governor set up an advisory, elders advisory council, where he brought all the former governors and leaders of the state to come together to make sure that he moved Kano forward. So, what is the difference between joining and not joining? It's already part of us. So opposition in Kano is dead. It's not working because we have a governor that have a direction. It is only when you don't have a direction that is where you have opposition. Once you have a direction where you are moving, where you are going, where your government is going to, nobody will criticize you. Nobody will want to fight you. They will rather join you. So that's what is happening in Kano. In fact, these 4 years or 8 years of NNPP, or even several years to come of NNPP in Kano, you will see something different in Kano. Kano is going to be like a shining star, a shining state in the north that, of course, it has always been to project the entire Nigeria.
All right, that's fair enough. To now kind of round off the program, I'd like to get your, call it recommendations,
yes,
or suggestions as regards how do you think the NNPP in the National Assembly, you have quite a number there,
yes,
even if it's not majority.
Yes.
What would be your recommendations as to how they can move? Because, you know, when you're a minority, like my earlier example, you have to find a way to align in a way that suits the nation, you know, not just personal. So what would be your thoughts as to how they can, you know, make a difference there, even though they are not the majority, and also promote some bills that, you know, Nigerians will remember them for years after they are no longer in office?
Well, I think we are already doing that as a party. We as a party and our members in the National Assembly, we have quite a number of them. I think we have over 19 or so. Our members are doing well, and we believe that with the advice, we are already working together. We form a caucus secretary where bills that will be beneficiary to the Nigerian populace, the Nigerian people, will be, you know, proposed or raised in the National Assembly for the benefit of Nigeria. So NNPP members there, we have very seasonal members, like we have Abdulmimini Jibrin, who is a very seasonal member there. Of course, he's a very bright chap. You all know him, you know his capacity, you know what he can do. So we are seeing him as one of our pointer there, who is going to guide the other ones that came on board to move motions and bills that will be very, very useful for the benefit of our country. And of course, we as a party, I've told you before, we know the kind of people we brought on board. We know the kind of people we elected there, from the State Assembly to our governor and the National Assembly members. We will not fail. That's why I'm telling you that give us these few, just watch what we are going to do. By the time we are done with these 4 years, I'm telling you, you yourself will be shocked. And you in fact, if you have not joined, you might even call to come and join our party.
All right, but what about when it comes to some will call it bravery, to stand against the tide, particularly with the issue where people are always criticizing the National Assembly that their spending is very bogus. And even a party like the Labour Party, who, you know, championed their particular narrative. I believe the phrase was, we know they give shishi. That's to say they didn't want to, you know, spend so much or collect people's money. When the issue of the SUVs and all of that happened, we had nothing from them. We had nothing from the SDP. We had nothing really. So what do you think it would take to be able to stand against that tide and say, you know what, we won't be a part of this?
Well, you have said it yourself. I don't want to, thank God you mentioned it yourself about when the issue of SUV came, and then those parties who were shouting that they were for the masses, they know they give shishi, they know they do that one. But when they brought SUV to them, as in jeeps, is that not what you are saying?
Yes, yes.
The Lexus and all that we see around, they collected, they are cruising in town with it. They didn't bother to remember the people they were shouting for. So no, we are not going to take this SUV. We want to take the money of this SUV and give it to the poor, the so-called poor Nigerians that they refer to. That would have been an ovation.
What about the NNPP?
But of course, we didn't say anything in the first instance. So it didn't originate from us. We didn't say anything at the first instance. We just came to watch. We are just coming in to see what is happening. Labour has been there. They've been in the National Assembly. We just came in to watch. Remember, this is our first time coming to the National Assembly. So our party is going to watch how things are done. And we are gradually, you know, taking, you know, stock of what is happening there. We didn't say that, we didn't tell, but they were the one who said. So we want Nigerians to see the difference between us and them. Okay? We belong to the Nigerian, the assets I've told you, the people which we refer to assets, which they refer to poor people. We say they are assets. These are the people we are targeting, and we make sure that we work to see how we can move these people out of where they are. The poverty in the land is becoming very, very embarrassing. It's not more outrageous. It's not embarrassing, to even us as a people and to the international community. So we are gradually seeing how we can come on power, to see how we can push this poverty away and bring happiness to the Nigerian people. That is what NNPP stands for. That is what is called New Nigerian People's Party. We are trying to bring new ideas for people to learn.
So you'll still be targeting that national seat, the presidency itself?
You will
still be going after, you say you started with Kano. I'm saying perhaps in subsequent cycles.
What kind of a question are you asking me?
I'm asking you,
I'm targeting what? I don't know what you say.
I'm saying that it is believed that to remove an incumbent is almost impossible. Although it has been done before.
Yes.
So I'm saying you are saying you are watching how things are going, and I'm wondering if come 4 years from now, so to speak.
No, just 2 years from now, okay. 2.5 years.
Yes, so
already in 2024, it's almost 2.5 years.
By then, you'll be stronger enough to take that. That's what I'm trying to say.
No. When we are not, don't say by then we'll be stronger. We're already strong.
Okay.
We're already strong. We're not weak. We are very, very strong. I've told you before, we are very strong.
Right.
Because we have a leader who is very, 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 very strong. Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso politically is very, very strong. Very, very strong in Nigeria. Not only in the north, in Nigeria, is very, very strong. So you having somebody like that with you in your party, or maybe a member of your party, then we know we are strong. Okay, we are very strong. And if Nigerians said, okay, they want elections come in next 2, 3, 4 years, definitely as a political party, we should file a presidential candidate. That is not an issue. We should file a presidential candidate. But as it stands now, our leader have not told us whether he's going to run or not. So I will not be here to say he is going to run or not going to run, like you rightly say, whether we are targeting the seat. But if he declares interest to run, if he declares interest to run, definitely he will be our candidate. There's no two ways about that. He should be our candidate. Because nobody will go and carry somebody who is weak, who doesn't have structure or who doesn't have respect. So, but he has not told us whether if he's running or not running. But as a party, definitely any political party targets to get the presidency.
All right.
That's the truth.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
Mr. Shendam. Like you said, we'll be waiting and seeing, the updates whenever he declares, if he declares, or if we might see a mega party, like we saw with the APC. Maybe, we never know. But whatever comes, we'll be here. Thank you so much for coming.
We'll also be here to update you on whatever is happening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Particularly on Edo State, we'll be looking at that too. That's the next one. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, I've been speaking with Mr. Yakubu Shendam. He's the National Publicity Secretary of the NNPP. We're speaking on the NNPP's progress, their thoughts on the state of the nation, and what we can expect in forthcoming elections. That's how we end the program today. Don't forget to join us every weekday. The Polity reaches you from Abuja, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. See you tomorrow. Bye for now. I am Amadin Ogbewe.